flag. Ahoy there, matey. Welcome aboard the world of boating.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I was just looking into buying a boat of my own.
Call World of Boating toll-free now at 1-888-88-28-BOAT. That's 1-888-828-BOAT.
And welcome. This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate. That is me, along with Captain Patrick, Barry the Boater, and Captain COVID Rusty with us to round out the crew as we navigate the latest boating news and information for 2021. First show of the year. Congratulations. We made it. Rusty, well, almost. You tried to.
I wasn't sure I was going to, but I did.
You tried to do yourself in by just in the nick of time before 2020 finished out. He picked up the vid. So, the only person of the World of Boating crew that has not had COVID, as far as I know, is Captain Patrick. Is that right, Patrick? You didn't get the bug this past year?
I have not.
Okay. So you're still COVID free. And
COVID fears this body. I got news for you. I will stomp it into the ground.
Okay. All right. Well, there's that, I guess. He has just willed himself free of the COVID virus. But Rusty, you picked it up, the day before Christmas? Is that what I hear?
Two days before Christmas. I felt like I had a cold, so I tested. So I got tested and came back positive. I was really kind of shocked because I just didn't feel that bad.
Yeah.
So I had to. My parents were coming in town, everybody else. So we spent Christmas by ourselves, which was, we saved a lot of drama that normally you would have around the holidays. None of that.
Right.
Watched a lot of TV.
Well, okay. There's
and
that.
overall, I felt honestly pretty good.
Okay.
No fever, no cough.
Just felt a little funky for a day or two.
I did. I felt a little funky, got tired.
Yeah.
But now I can start off 2021 and not be afraid of the COVID virus anymore.
Well, exactly. Look at the bright side. You know, that's how I've been looking at the last few months as well. I got it off, or I got it over with early when the COVID thing struck. And I was only sick for a couple days, and I was fine too. And now I had the antibodies, and I've saved God knows how many lives by giving my blood to the rest of the world, because I have super blood now. And as far as I know, as far as like 3 weeks ago, I gave blood again, and I still had the antibodies. So, you can start doing that. And pick up an Amazon card at the local blood bank or something for doing that. They give you little prizes or a blanket or a shirt or something.
Sure.
Barry never got tested, but he was
Not true.
No, I thought you gave blood and found out you had the antibodies, but you didn't get tested when you had it, though, right?
No, I was going to get tested that week, and I figured since I knew I had it, I was with 3 women that had it. What are the chances that I could not get it?
1 in 4.
Yeah, right. So
I think that's the math. I don't know.
Yeah. So I chose not to get the noodles stuck up my nose, but I did get a blood test about a month ago, and for 6 months,
antibodies.
After 6 months.
Okay.
So time for you to go back and see if you still have antibodies.
Well, as of 3 weeks ago, that was the last time I gave blood, I had the antibodies. So hopefully I'm still good to go. But, maybe we need to just go rub ourselves all over Patrick just to get the entire World of Boating crew covered, and then we don't have to worry about this for 2021. Patrick, you game?
No.
Okay. All right. I was just checking. I wanted to make sure he was going to say no, because if he said anything else.
You won't even let me come into the studio.
Duh. You're the one who doesn't have it. There's a reason for that.
I know. Well, you just said you rub all over me and give it to you. If I come to the studio,
I wasn't talking about myself. I was talking
ahead.
about Rusty or Barry, because I sure as hell wasn't going to do that. But, anyway.
And it should be noted that you actively went out and tried to get infected.
What?
You did everything possible to catch it.
Wrong.
No, that is not. You were sharing chili dip bowls with strangers.
There was no dip involved. It was straight chili.
Whatever it was, you guys.
And it was free.
Around to other people's tables. Can I taste this? Can I taste that?
No, that's not how it went. When a friend of
absolutely.
yours offers you free chili because the waiter brought an extra one by mistake,
In the midst of a pandemic.
and he has COVID, and you didn't know it, of course you're going to accept it. You
But
know,
you were
Or-
sharing spoons too.
but not anymore.
Oh no, Greg wasn't using a spoon.
Oh,
It was all fingers.
it was a cup of chili, so I
Have you
could
met
drink
Have
it
you
like
met
a
Greg?
cup of
yes,
coffee.
I've eaten with him.
Yeah. Well, Rusty, how did you catch this? I mean, mine was a free cup of chili. What was yours?
Honestly,
You know?
I have no idea.
You have no
I don't
idea how you
know
picked it up,
anybody.
huh? Really?
No, I did give it to Crystal, and so good for her. So
Okay.
she's still recovering. She's got a day or two left before she can go out to the world.
Yeah. So are
Well,
you
no-
still in quarantine yourself, or you through
No,
it?
I got out yesterday.
Okay.
Yesterday
So
was my-
he's clear and connected virtually regardless, because, yeah, we don't
Yeah.
know if he can count the days in his mental state as it is.
So is the marina still there, or has someone squandered off with it?
You know, there's knock on wood. Nobody there has actually even got it. I've been the only one out of everybody that's worked at the marina that's got it. So far.
Really?
Um,
So you have no idea who might have, rubbed this off on you, huh?
I don't.
I know exactly who did it.
Who?
I know exactly. Well, you'd have to know Rusty's background, and if
Yeah.
you know his background, you know he's got a divinity degree.
Mhm.
A little bit of divine intervention there, I
That-
think.
Jesus gave it to me.
Okay. Interesting. That's one
You know,
theory. All right.
Just saying.
Well, they would kind of tie into Christmas, I guess.
Two
so-
days before Christmas,
That's
you know,
true.
you had the Immaculate Conception. And
Sure.
this
That's
one
true.
you got the.
You got the
Uh,
immaculate injection.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, okay.
Okay.
Well, that may explain what happened to Crystal, but we'll leave that one alone.
Exactly.
Anyway, Happy New Year to you, and we apologize in advance for the rest of the show because it's probably not going to get much better. But the fact that at least 4 of the 5 crew members have already dealt with this. Patrick's the only one who has to worry about getting the vaccine at this point.
I don't have to worry about it. I'm telling you.
What do you mean you don't have to worry about it? Sure you do. It's
I-
they're saying it's
my-
more contagious now. You might
my-
even be getting it via the web. You might get
my
a
immu-
virus via the web now.
My immune system is superior to all others.
Really? Hmm.
Yes.
And
That's
that's
why.
because
That's why. And in fact, I have super platelets because you talk about donating. I'm a 30-gallon donor at this point. And when I go and I donate platelets, and they do
it
a
is blood
triple
you're talking about that you're donating, I hope, right?
platelets.
Okay.
Platelets.
Okay, just
Okay.
double
So-
checking.
And they do a triple
Test
amount
of like, yep.
no, triple amount because my body produces more than the normal amount.
lot of
a
fluids.
regular person.
Hmm.
So, again, I don't fear the COVID. I'm not
Okay.
looking to get it, but I don't think it's coming within 10 feet of me.
Interesting.
That could be a song. Don't fear the COVID.
Yeah, it could be.
Mhm.
Be
Just
pretty
more
lame.
cowbell.
Yeah. What about but when you have access to the vaccine, you're going to take it though, aren't you? Patrick, even though you feel invincible?
I will figure it's gonna take 2+ years.
What?
Oh yeah. So I probably wait till the tail end to see if anybody's growing like a third eye or
Sprouting a third nipple, that kind of thing? Yeah.
So, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I believe in vaccinations, but
But you're going to wait 2 years and
I'm gonna
play
bide my
Russian
time
roulette.
on this one.
Okay, fair enough. Barry, what say you?
I can tell you, my daughter had it.
Yeah.
She had COVID. She just got her injection at the hospital the other day. It did knock her on her butt for 24 hours. She did have a fever.
Right.
Felt like crap.
Well,
So-
that can happen.
because that's your body reacting to it as though, oh, you're back again.
Mm-hmm.
But she went, her body went right to work on it. It didn't wait a week or two and think it through.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good to know. I mean,
Well, it's something to think about. If you're going to get the shot, you may want to make sure you have a couple of days afterwards to do absolutely nothing.
right. Well, chances are if you plan to travel on your boat, you're going to need to get the vaccine, period, especially if you decide to go out of U.S. waters. They're not going to let you into these other countries without a vaccine certificate or
Papers,
something.
show us your papers,
Yeah,
your
it's-
vaccination papers,
It's
please.
going to happen. You trust me on that. Well, it already is happening. They're
Yeah.
making you get tests now. Now the next phase is going to be, well, show us you've been vaccinated. So, do you got any proof that you had the vid there, Rusty? Now, so you can show your papers to be able to travel the
I do.
Bahamas
I
on your
went
boat.
to, I go to Mayo Clinic, so
Yeah.
I get, nice little things. I get my results back in, like
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours. So that's good.
You'll have
And
an
I will
app.
get the
Yeah.
I will get the vaccine as soon as it comes available. as well.
Right. I will as well. I'm not waiting 2 years, even though I got super blood just like Patrick.
Well, when you're old, if you're old enough, you can get ahead of the line.
I've given a gallon of my fluids already.
Listen, with that monkey heart beating in your chest, you're at more of a risk than any of us.
That's a whole different thing. But yeah, I've been giving blood and offering up my platelets to save the world and doing what I can. And I guess, that's what you're going to have to do now too, Rusty.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. Remember, the blood banks, if you got this stuff and you've recovered, your blood is more valuable. And you might get a free T-shirt or something from your local blood bank.
Valuable it is.
And you save people's lives. It's a good thing. All right, more coming up. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
Be an explorer in the other 2/3 of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Even Keatley wasn't ready for me, or anything that followed. Chased by a police department, led by his ex-girlfriend, and hunted by brain fork-wielding Fijian assassins, it's everything he can do to keep from getting locked up, killed, or worse. Kava Screw is available as an ebook for $2.99 at Amazon.com. Kava Screw. Put a brain fork in him. He's done.
You have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the world of boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Happy New Year.
You talking to me?
Clap, clap, clap.
Get that crap out of here.
Happy New Year.
You guys suck.
Stomp, stomp, stomp.
See you in hell.
Spin around.
You're an inspiration for birth control.
And stop. Yay. Great job.
Damn, that was annoying.
Yeah, well, it's what we do here at the World of Boating. I am Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick Barry, the boater, and Captain COVID Rusty rounding out the crew today as we navigate the latest boating news and information on the first show for 2021. And so happy New Year to you, whether you like the song or not.
A Captain Rusty COVID sounds like an awesome alcoholic drink.
Huh.
Oh, that'd be a good one, wouldn't it?
A Rusty COVID.
Oh,
I'll have a Rusty COVID,
Rusty.
please.
All right.
Rusty COVID. Okay.
That'd be
I like that idea,
That'd be
Patrick.
rum with a splash of virus. I don't know, maybe. And maybe that could have been how you got it.
Trying to figure out what the rest is going to be.
Yeah, very possible. All right. Well, we do have some boating news, I believe, to share with everybody on this first broadcast of 2021. Do we not, Patrick?
No, we don't.
Okay.
So what we want to do is really no stories in particular, this being the first show of 2021. What we wanted to look back on are what we consider the top boating stories of the past year.
Okay.
So I asked every participant of the show, with the exception of Greg, because just play with the buttons there. So you all were given
Pretty
assignments. I
lights.
gave you plenty of time to research, and Barry and Rusty to come up with one story that you feel really kind of defined, whether the boating industry, the boating lifestyle, boating in general. So not to put any pressure on Barry, let's go with Rusty.
So I think when I think back over the year, besides the obvious, okay, so we know that boat sales were through the roof, that we couldn't keep inventory, all those sort of things. One of the things that I just thought was amazing this year that you saw more and more, and this is not a political statement, so please nobody take it that way, but the Trump parades were, I've never seen so many people wanting to get in a boat parade in my life. There were boat parades everywhere this year. And I think it did a lot of people just seeing everybody out on the water. And I think it probably helped that just getting people who want to be there,
Give them
they
something
want to belong
to do.
something.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't think Barry or Patrick, big fans of the whole effort, but hey.
Well, it's just actually it was fun watching some of the boats sink.
No,
So that added a little
I got
excitement
to
to it.
Barry, walk that one back, because
Okay.
no matter what your political inclination or standing
I know
or what
you
have
shouldn't
you,
see some boats sink.
seeing any boat sink is a sad event, and of course, people that, but that event out in Texas, yeah, that was insane.
That was nuts.
That was insane. You had 8-10 foot waves being generated, boats getting swamped, and it just wasn't good. So
Good
Barry,
times.
your pick is the unprecedented boating support parades shown for still current President Trump.
And I'm just curious, and I don't think it'll be this way, but I don't know why they can't do those for, come up with another cause or something, because boat parades are fun. Just come up with something that everybody likes to do and have a parade. Raise money for stuff.
You should celebrate the fact that there are a bunch of boaters getting together, despite their political things. The fact that they chose that activity is something that everybody should be universally supportive of.
But
To
people
your
do
point,
get
Russ,
together.
If there was one event a year that, for a boat parade where like you could string lights up on your boat, and
They canceled them all.
Yes, they did.
They did. They canceled them all. The big one down in Fort Lauderdale, I thought for sure they were going to still do it, but they canceled it because they're afraid it would create too much of an attraction for people to line up along the waterways of South Florida.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that, Greg, because, you know, when I list these, and y'all know I have for years, and I always come on and talk about them, I list. This year I decided I'm not going to do it. I'm just, you know, a good opportunity because it has become its own nightmare. So
and you didn't need to, right?
And I started getting so many emails and stuff. I sat down one afternoon and I did them, and about half of them didn't have it, but there was still a lot of them that took place this year.
Yeah.
So
I heard about one that you know, they did have one down in the Keys. I think it was the Key Largo one. And I was invited to go down for that. But, you know, the big one is in Fort Lauderdale. That's the monster.
I know.
And I was really surprised they canceled that. I thought maybe they would just try to limit, you know, the viewing areas or something. I was really surprised they just, you know, canceled that one outright. But, hey, you know, it's South Florida. It's where Barry lives. What do you expect?
You know, it is what it is.
Well, speaking of Barry, we know about the bandana-wearing iguanas that are threatening to steal people's boats. Barry, what's your pick for
My
the
pick
top
was,
boating story?
Well, luckily, Greg and I were able to go to the boat show before they shut those down. But the boat show shutting down kind of, you know, broke my heart a little bit.
Good call.
And I'm hoping they come back because virtually, no, a boat show doesn't work virtually. Being able to go there and mingle with people and see the stuff and touch it and look at it and, you know, sit by Rusty's place and just bug him for an hour while all the sales are walking while we're bothering.
Well, Rusty and I actually we had a good meetup down at Flibs where we did a nice Facebook Live interview, and our listeners that had me they had me running all over that boat show. I think I logged like 20 miles of walking and I think they had it pretty well planned out. They knew I was going over to H-Dock, and then they're like, okay, let's send them over to, you know.
They had a map.
Come on, Patrick, complete that ring. You can do it.
They had a map, and they knew exactly what they were doing.
I'm telling you, it was like the boat show Iron Man, you know, event. Okay, so we got Rusty with the boat parades for Trump, Barry with the canceled boat shows. Yeah. Personally, myself, my picks, I mean, there are just so many out there. And again, not going into the, you know, as Rusty already pointed out, the unprecedented boat sales, dealers that, you know, had planned on having this inventory for 12 to 18 months, and it sold out in 4 and kind of caught everybody off guard. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that a little bit later in the show. I would have to say what really surprised me was Volvo Penta selling 7 Marine or can't just getting rid of it.
Dumping it
after buying it and getting set up to re-enter the outboard boat market, you know, the outboard engines, and just abandoning it.
Yeah. So big story, but you're disappointed. So it's really the story that most disappointed you in 2020. Is that right, Captain Patrick?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, because what they did with the 7 Marine product, they were able to put their duo prop lower on the 7 Marine outboard. They were able to utilize the wet clutch technology from the IPS. They had a great product, and then they just
dumped it.
Walked
That's just
away.
What they do. All right, more coming up on the World of Boating. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 PSI left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Be an explorer in the other 2/3 of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Imagine traveling twice as fast as you can drive. Imagine taking friends and family snorkeling, surfing, skiing, shopping, and more to exotic destinations. Imagine attending business meetings in cities far away and still making it home at night. Or just imagine exploring the wild blue yonder.
Quit dreaming about it and get to it. There has never been a better time to become a private pilot, and Flight Training Professionals in Orlando will show you how. Flight Training Professionals in Orlando is your full-service flight school. A state-of-the-art flight simulator, a fleet of the latest Cessna aircraft, and a staff of full-time seasoned flight instructors are just a few of the many reasons Flight Training Professionals in Orlando is the place to start your aviation adventure. Call 407-896-0077. That's 407-896-0077. Or go to ftpros.com. That's ftpros.com. That does sound like a nice rum drink. The Captain
COVID.
Rusty COVID. But anyway, it is what it is as we start this new year.
What is it, Greg?
Navigating the latest boating news and information. And looking back at last year's, it's interesting, you know, of the crew, you know, Patrick asked the crew, you know, what is their most memorable boating story of 2020? And Rusty says, you know, the big boat parades, which is kind of a positive kind of spin on things of people participating in boating from that sense. And then Barry's like, oh, the fact they canceled the boat shows, and Patrick's like, oh, the fact that they sold Seven Marine, and you guys are like, it's always half empty kind of thing. It was negative. Yeah.
Looking at 2021 for the boat shows to come back.
Okay, well, the story was what was the most memorable story of 2020?
Right. Well, that was the most memorable, as far as I'm concerned, is the canceling of the boat shows. You didn't say it had to be happy.
Well,
I didn't. But I'm just saying it's interesting that Rusty's is kind of focused on a positive thing, and you guys are focused on the negative.
Well, if you
what's positive about boat sinking in a parade, Greg?
That is not what Rusty said. You guys brought that part up again. Hello.
But as far as people participating in boating, there's still plenty of people out there doing it. They're not having boat parades, but I see them at the sandbars all throwing out anchors and having parties out there every weekend. So if anything, there's more people boating out there now.
All right. Probably maybe the boat parades, they needed something else to celebrate and just go out on their boat. It sparked some more interest. So
well,
it's
fishing
a good thing.
is supposed to increase. They said fishing was dropping the last couple of years, and they see that beginning to come back up because people now have these boats and they're realizing that their kids may enjoy going out there and catching dinner.
Well, it's something you can do kind of socially distanced. Right. Okay. So that's a good thing. All right. Yeah, you're trying to bring it back around to the positive. I appreciate your effort there, Barry.
Oh, thank you.
And Barry, I think
I'll bring it back down for you if you like.
No, please.
Okay.
One of the things I was thinking about recently is because, especially when Barry brings up the boat shows, Jacksonville, we canceled ours because it was in January. We're probably going to do an outdoor show. Orlando's doing theirs, but you know, this is a time when a lot of people would like to go out and not buy a boat, but learn about boating. And
yeah, okay.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Don't you just love New Year's? You can start all over.
It's New Year's Day. This is the World of Boating. It's actually the day after New Year's Day, just to be absolutely correct. It'll be the first time ever here at the World of Boating, but you know, it's a new year. Maybe we'll start a new leaf, try to get things right for once.
Oh, by the way, a Rusty COVID
Yeah.
is 1 jigger of rum, 1 jigger of tequila, and half a shot of Dayquil.
Huh.
I don't know
Sounds
about-
delicious.
but it does
Yeah.
sound-
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know.
By the way, Rusty, I know it's been a while since you've been on the show. You know, like seems like I don't know, at least 8 months. So it's probably been about 8 months. But when you hear that music start,
yeah, you know, I thought it was just in my. I thought it was just in my head.
Yeah. The voice.
that's
Those
a
are the
side
voices. You can. You're supposed to ignore the voices, but not the music, Rusty.
I know.
But just to finish your thought before you got cut off there, you were saying what about the boat shows or something? What were you trying to do?
I was saying that this year, my disappointment in having boat shows is not that people can't buy boats, and because we're not going to have that much inventory or those sort of things, but there's so many new boaters out there that I think you could do seminars, you could sell accessories, and you could really introduce them to the lifestyle by having, and maybe it's not a boat show, maybe that's the wrong word, maybe a boating event.
Mhm.
And I think you could really pull in some people and do some good for the community.
How about something like a boat expo?
See, that'd be amazing. There you go. World of Boating Boat Expo. That's what we need.
Where it's it's not focused on boat sales.
No.
Like Surf Expo is not focused on surfing.
Right.
But it's focused on things surrounding that particular lifestyle. Beach, sun, bikinis, mankinis.
Yeah, you didn't have to go there.
Greg
really.
Keeney's. Well, there is the Greg Keeney. So, you want to be aware of that one.
Yeah.
It's going to be an opportunity missed. I think everybody just focuses on boat sales, and they're just focusing on the little tip of the iceberg because there's so much more to it than that.
Well, and Greg, to your point, saying that, Barry's pick was negative and mine was negative. Mine is positive if you're Yamaha, if you're Honda, if you are Mercury, outboard manufacturers.
You were
you're
disappointed in them. You said that.
I was, because again, they went out of their way. They purchased this company that had made such an impact in the boating industry with their product, and they put the time and money into incorporating their duo prop technology into this outboard offering. And as I said, the wet clutch from the IPS drive, so you had a smooth shifting, extremely powerful twin prop outboard, and then just dropped it. And it's not. I still don't understand it. I'm trying to get Tony Kelleher from Volvo Penta to join us in the new year. I don't know that I'm going to be able to bring that up to him, because that'd probably be like, you can't ask me about that. But it was a little disappointing. I was really excited about Volvo Penta getting back into, because I think, and Rusty from the dealership end would probably agree, especially up in the area where he's at, outboards have made so many gains in the last 5 to 7 years. They're not going away. They are displacing a large segment of the inboard outboard manufacturing segment. I don't understand why they bought it and then just dropped it.
Could weight
That's
have
all.
been an issue?
No.
Because
No.
they're comparable to other engines out there then?
Well, no, those 7 Marine engines, those were the Cadillac Northstar V8s. So those things were monsters. But in talking with the test center up in Chesapeake, knew that they were working on outboard offerings starting at, like the 150, 200, 250 horsepower offerings to kind of get back into that market. They had a ready footprint ready to go, and they just, I'm sure somewhere in a profit and loss column it makes sense. To me, it does not. Why you would go, because they weren't, it's not like they were in competition with Volvo Penta, like they had to buy them to put them out of business. That's not what they did. They actually started investing in that technology and making the product better, and then just let it go and said, no, this is what we're going to focus on. IPS. We're going to focus on inboard, outboard. We're going to focus on surf drive technology. And I what do I know? I think it was a mistake.
Yeah, you don't know much, but regardless, it's a theory.
You know what? You can just go ahead and kill my mic for the rest of the show. Let's see how damn good the show is without me taking part. Go ahead, Greg.
Well, I'll pass it off to Rusty. I'll delegate to Captain COVID.
I do have a question, Patrick, and nobody mentioned it. I'm sure y'all talk when I haven't been here, but what about Evan Rouge?
Done. Gone.
Yeah, and that was another big one for the year that I just thought was odd.
Yeah, and again, I think, coming down to that profit and loss, and well, BRP being owned by a private equity firm, that's always, they've been playing fast and loose, the last 5 to 10 years with a lot of their product. But again, you know, that whole G series on their outboard, they were, I believe, the first ones that came out, kind of repackaged the outboard engine into that slim, sleek, kind of futuristic cowling and everything like that. That Seven Marine copied. Other manufacturers have copied. You know, when Mercury came out with the Verado, they didn't have anything that looked like that. It was just kind of your typical, you know, outboard cowling and stuff like that. And I thought, again, great, but I think that came down also to 2-stroke versus 4-stroke.
Well, yeah, I like the E10 because it still had the gas mileage of a 4-stroke and still had the spin up of a 2.
Yeah, I mean, one of those things that they just didn't see it as viable. But you know, as we now, Greg, don't want to leave you out. Do you have a boating story from the past year other than you getting sick on Barry's boat that you feel is worth bringing up into the?
Well, that wasn't on Barry's boat. That was on.
No, that was on the Little Whore.
Right. Well, that was the name of the boat, by the way, just so we're clear. But it was. It really didn't have anything to do with the seas, and I'd rather focus on the lobsters that I caught.
That's your boating story.
I went boating and I caught lobster. Yeah, I just happened to blow chunks.
So how does that impact? How does that impact the rest of us that are boaters and live the boating?
Well, I ate lobster tail that week, and you didn't, so you can suck it. How about that?
You're a moron.
But a lot of fish were swimming around them that day.
Hey,
right, so
if you're going to take, you got to give back, you know? Yeah. So take from the ocean, you give back to the ocean.
Oh, now as we look ahead in 2021, you know, we've got there's some big question marks there. You know, boat shows being one of them. Manufacturing output, can manufacturers sustain? You know, a lot of them 2021 models are sold out. They're getting orders on 2022s. You know, how long is this drive going to last? And dealers still kind of not really ready, not only for, you know, don't have product to sell, and when it comes in, it's getting gone, and prep time and everything like that. But Rusty, we know from a manufacturing standpoint, from a dealership standpoint, the biggest challenge is keeping those new boaters, first-time boaters, excited and in the boating lifestyle. And we know from a manufacturing standpoint, we know from a dealership standpoint, this past year has been nothing but challenging in manufacturers delivering product that was ready, the dealers being able to do proper PDIs and do the training when, again, a stock that you had planned on, you know, holding for maybe 12 months, it was gone in 4. And then you have the inevitable, as most boaters are going to be well aware of, issues that come up, whether they're related to the manufacturer of the boat or vendor issues, bilge pumps, blowers, engine issues. And then you've got dealerships that aren't, they've sold out, you know, they sold, I don't know, how many boats did you sell in the first half of the year, Rusty?
Do you know?
I don't know.
A lot. More than you expected, right?
Oh yeah, no.
But not really set up to then be able to provide service.
No, and that's been the issue all the way through is being able to provide service. And these are like side things that you wouldn't think about. Our salesmen, a boat salesman, for the most part, have gotten lazy. They didn't have to sell a boat. You just came in and took their money, right?
Yeah.
So
just answer
you
the
didn't follow
phone.
up.
Right.
So, that definitely been an issue that we've had to deal with. I think just the overall from the dealership, and it's funny because in a lot of our 20 groups, people are talking about the dealers are tired, the salesmen are tired. So just what it is these days.
That's right. That's a good problem to have, but we'll talk more about it next on the World of Boating.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Do you have a message or product you need to share with the boating world? Well, look no further than the World of Boating radio show. Just like you, thousands of boating enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to worldofboating.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 psi left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
Successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the world of boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Happy New Year to you!
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate. That is me, along with Captain Patrick, Barry, and a boater, and Captain COVID, Rusty. Hey, look at it this way. That's the last time you have to hear that song, at least from us. All right? You're welcome. As we start off the new year appropriately and slightly annoying, maybe, depending on your perspective. All right. So, I don't know. Did you get out your thought that time there, Rusty? You sounded like you had more that you wanted to say.
I could just talk for hours.
Yeah, well, that's okay. You know, we got a few minutes left.
Another side effect of COVID.
Maybe. Yeah, you talk too much and you can't stand still.
Shut up.
That's what he told us right before the show. He said, one of the effects of COVID is I can't stand still. Is that the case? Really? You feel antsy. Is that it?
You do feel antsy because you know.
I didn't have that. I did not have that particular thing. You know, I had the smell thing happen for a little bit and a headache, you know, but I didn't, this whole antsiness thing.
In the studio.
Yeah. Well, that's right.
Still smell. All right. So as we're getting ready to wrap up the first show of 2021, want to remind our listeners, whether you're listening live or you're listening via podcast, to please check us out on Facebook and like us if you will, and also worldofboating.com. And probably now more than ever, take notice of our sponsors. This is a live radio show. We know a lot of people listen to it via podcast, but it does go out as a live radio show, nationally syndicated, and we would greatly appreciate the ability to stay on the air. So please, would ask that you take a look at our sponsors, and if they have something that you might be interested in, pay them a little attention. We'd appreciate it.
Buy it and then blame us for it. They like it when you do that. They do.
So one of the things we were talking about during the commercial break, I guess we could say that in the talk back, if you will. Barry had asked if I believe that we are in a boating bubble. Yes, I do. This is not sustainable. It's just not. I think we're good for another production year. Then we're going to see a gradual tail off. The big worry for me is, as Rusty and I were talking about in the last segment, is keeping those new boaters that got into boating because of COVID, keeping them excited and staying in, because we know retention is about 40%, I think, Rusty. It is. In other words, 40% of those are going to stay in boating. 60% are going to bail. Mm-hmm. You know, they didn't realize the cost. They're frustrated. The boat's got problems, so on and so forth. So I think you're going to see an influx of really some great pre-owned product coming into the market, which again, great for dealers because they get to double dip on some of that if they're taking it on, you know, consignment or whatever, or if they're however that happens to work out, or if they're able to actually get somebody, maybe they're downsizing, maybe they're deciding to go up. Take a look at those manufacturers out there that are continuing to push out brand new product, and there are ones out there, they're just not rebadging and changing colors, but they've got new product from the keel up that's hitting the market to, again, keep that boating base excited, get new product out there, new technologies. But I think you're going to see a lot of pre-owned boats coming into the market in the next 12 to 16 months. Rusty?
No, and I agree. And one of the things that I think if you're serious about buying a boat, I think you're going to get a better deal on ordering a boat right now. It's going to take a while, June or July before you get one, than you will be coming into a dealership wanting to buy a new boat that's sitting on the floor. I will tell our dealership, we're holding our margins, meaning that we're not really cutting deals. There's always been this saying, right? Is it easier to replace the boat or the customer? At this point, where we are, it's easier to replace the customer than the boat. So you're not going to get a great deal right now on a new boat. You know, it's not going to happen. I think used boats you're going to. And if you want to order a boat, they'll give you a better deal. But if you just walk in, it's not the ideal time. And I hate to say that as a boat dealer, but it's, you know, but if you really want it, you can buy it.
Well, you being in Florida, I mean, it's boating year round for the most part. You got boaters up in the Northeast, the Midwest, the Pacific Northwest that are laid up for the winter. But the boats that they have ordered through the dealers are in the midst of being built at this point,
right?
For spring delivery, summer delivery. So again, if you're up in the cold weather states and you're walking into a dealership right now, it might be, you might not have it until, you know, spring 2022.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a very real possibility. But then I think we're going to start to see, Barry, to your point, the question about a bubble, that we'll start to see it kind of tail off a bit as things kind of normalize and lifestyle, people are able to travel again. Right now, you can't travel, you can't go overseas, you know, private schools, summer camps, all that stuff that people were spending money on, that, you know, now all of a sudden they've got all this cash on hand. And what better, I mean, seriously, what better recreational activity to do with your loved ones than, honestly, I know we're a boating show, but it is so much fun, despite some of the drawbacks that you know we talk about, but it is a lot of fun to be out on the water and just being able to experience the great outdoors that way.
Yeah, socially distanced too.
You get a better bang for your buck with that.
Watch how you say bang when it comes to having fun on your boat. Anyway, on that note, we'll wrap it up for the first edition of the Big Show for 2021. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if not, we're some other show. All right, remember, till next time, whether it's sail or motor,
life is better as a boater.
Come back here, you barnacle-bitten swab.
World of Boating is brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Any of this getting through to you, son?
World of Boating is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Computer standing by.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past shows worldwide over the internet at worldofboating.com.
Computers can do that?
So tell a friend and come aboard every week for the World of Boating.
This is so great. I can't wait. I'm getting goosebumps. Feel me.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
TTFN, ta-ta for now.
the opinions you just heard on the World of Boating are those of the hosts, callers, and guests. They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
What are you being such a weenie for?
While on the water, your safety and the safety of many others depends on you. So boat smart and operate your vessel only after receiving the proper training and instruction for your area.
There is a fine line between genius and madness.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at worldofboating.com.